The market is tanking. Bitcoin is down almost 15%. Should you be worried? Should we all be worried? Is this the end for Bitcoin? Have we reached a market top? This video is going to dive into some technical analysis and also some on-chain data, which is critical and so useful for us to figure out whether we reached a market top or whether this is a healthy correction and this is just another stepping stone on the way to higher highs. Okay, so to decipher whether we are indeed experiencing a blow-off top, we really need to define what a blow-off top means. So essentially, it's the top or highest price that a coin will reach in the bull run before the bear market. So in this video, I'm talking specifically about Bitcoin because the whole entire market tends to follow Bitcoin. That's the way it's been historically. So the bull run is caused by something called the Bitcoin halving cycle. And if you don't know what that is, I highly recommend stopping this video and Googling it and understanding how the Bitcoin phases work. So when prices go really, really parabolic before we enter a bear market, that is considered the blow off top. That's what we want to see, like prices shooting up so high. And then we have this blow off top where we just enter and we crash into a bear market. So this crash, this blow off top and crash is the thing that shakes out retail investors. Okay, so just jumping in and looking at previous parabolic all-time highs, you can see in the 2013 bull run, we went up around 1,000% for Bitcoin, and it was just green candle, green candle, green candle, like huge green candles. And this is what we're talking about when we say a blow off top, where it's just so unsustainable. Like rising this quickly and this much is just so unsustainable. And then we have a blow off top and we enter a bear market, shaking out all the retail investors. Okay, so here we are in 2017's bull run, and you can see a very similar pattern. We're having huge green candles. We've risen over 1,000%, and we're having this blow off top. Now, what's really interesting is both blow off tops took place in and around December, January for the bull run. So in 2013's bull run, the blow off top happened in around December, January, and same with 2017's bull run. Now, just because it happened in the past doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen in this bull run. We could see a blow off top at the same time. We could see it a little bit earlier. We could see it a little bit later. This is what happens when you're playing a zero-sum game, because you have to remember with trading that when someone's taking profits, another person's losing profits. So that's something to keep in mind. Just because it happened like historically the same time for 2013 and 2017 doesn't necessarily mean the exact thing's going to happen in this bull run. Okay, so one of the ways we can analyze whether we're going to see higher highs in this bull run is to look at the on-chain metric coin days till destroyed. Now, I love this metric because it can give us an indication of how smart money is moving. Now, what you need to know about this chart is basically it's a measurement of how long someone was holding their Bitcoin before they decided to sell that Bitcoin. So when a coin is spent, we consider it its lifespan before it is then again bought up and then spent again. So that's what we consider the Bitcoin lifespan between holders. So what you need to know about this chart, because I don't want to overcomplicate it, when we see spikes in this orange line, this means that coins that have been held for longer periods of time are selling. When we have these kind of flattening consolidation areas, this means that people that have been holding Bitcoin for a very long time aren't selling their Bitcoin. So this is indicative of accumulation, and this is indicative of redistribution. Okay, so what's really fascinating about looking at the coin days till destroyed is we can see how smart money are either accumulating or spending. So you can see prior to the beginning of this year, there was a lot of accumulation happening. Not too many people holding their Bitcoin for a long time were selling that Bitcoin. But at the start of this year, we saw a large spike in those coins that have been held for a long time being spent. And then we obviously saw that kind of mini bear market in the middle of this 2021 bull run. Well, that was because so many older coins were being redistributed out into the market. Okay, so what does this chart tell us now? Well, we had a big accumulation phase in the midst of this bull run, and we didn't start redistributing up until the end of July, August, when the price rallied. You can see the price rallying here. Then we entered that accumulation phase again, and I believe that smart money is waiting for the price to rise significantly higher before they sell those older coins. And you can see that the the accumulation phase is beginning to phase out, pun intended, as we enter into a redistribution phase. Okay, so another on-chain metric that I like to look at to kind of see how Bitcoin is being moved is the total transfer to exchanges of Bitcoin. And the logic kind of works like this. If you own a vast amount of Bitcoin, you potentially have it stored on a nano ledger or a Trezor wallet. You probably have it off an exchange to keep it safe while you're holding, especially if you have a large amount. And if you do have a large amount, I highly recommend don't just leave your Bitcoin on an exchange. If you're doing that, not a good idea. But the logic is that when you're ready to sell that Bitcoin, you're going to move Bitcoin onto an exchange to sell that Bitcoin. So that's why the transfer volume to exchanges is really indicative of sell pressure. So you could see in June that we had a large amount of Bitcoin moving to exchanges, which is why you can see it kind of correlates with this massive dip that we saw. But we've been steadily decreasing for the rest of the year now. And I'm really watching to see when we start to spike with more Bitcoin moving to exchanges, which doesn't seem to be happening right now, which is very interesting. So that can kind of indicate to me that long-term holders are waiting for the price to get higher. So a big reason why we probably haven't seen the end of this bull run yet is because of the stock to flow model, which is predicting a $98,000 Bitcoin by the end of November. Now, although the stock to flow isn't 100% accurate all the time, it gets pretty darn close. In fact, both August and September resonated closely with the actual monthly closing price of $47,000 and $43,000 respectively. And if you don't know what the stock to flow model is or how it works, basically it analyzes the supply dynamics of Bitcoin and its scarcity enforced by the protocol's halving of miner rewards every 4 years. And this is why it's predicting a monthly close of around $98,000 for November. Okay, just to jump into the stock to flow model to show you what that article was saying. So you can see this halving cycle that took place in 2012. And then also here in 2016, and then we had our halving in 2020. And you can see how the stock to flow has played out previously in the past, where we've kind of peaked this real light green color, and we're entering that light green now. So although the stock to flow isn't perfect, it's not 100% accurate, if we do play out as what we've played out in the past, then a $98,000 Bitcoin could definitely be on the card. Okay, so another big reason why this bull run might be far from over is we still have companies like MicroStrategy buying up thousands of Bitcoin. But before I get into this article, if you're enjoying this video, if you think Bitcoin's going up, if you think it's going to continue, or if you think it's going to go down, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about this. And if you're enjoying this video, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. Okay, let's get into this. So Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategy, has said in an earnings conference call that the company is committed to buying Bitcoin and doesn't have plans to sell. Saylor called Bitcoin a great long-term investment for shareholders. Saylor even said he's open to partnerships that allow MicroStrategy to buy more Bitcoin. Additionally, Saylor said that the last 3 months have displayed extremely dramatic developments for Bitcoin, including more institutional adoption and continuing regulatory discussions. Bitcoin's linked ETFs are another checkbox for institutional investors. So I can't help but completely agree with Michael Saylor on this. There definitely has been a lot of dramatic developments for Bitcoin. The Bitcoin linked ETF was the fastest growing ETF to reach $1 billion, 3 times faster than gold. Huge. Also, we have to keep in mind that El Salvador has officially already classed Bitcoin as a legal tender. That was a huge development. So he is right. There are a lot of dramatic things happening for Bitcoin, a lot of developments that are paving the way for Bitcoin's domination. Okay, guys, just some advice about picking the top of the market. Almost all of cryptocurrency is highly correlated to Bitcoin. If you don't own any Bitcoin, if you don't care about Bitcoin, if you just love NFTs and altcoins, and you don't really care about what goes on with BTC, you need to start caring, because the whole entire market is going to follow BTC in a bull run. It's very highly correlated. So just make sure you keep that in mind. Also, accept that you're probably not going to pick the top of the market. Even the most intelligent, best, most experienced traders I know struggle to pick the top of the market. I've already accepted that I'm probably not going to be able to pick the top of the market, but I'm okay to forgo some potential gains if the market increases, just so I can lock in my profits. Also, when we do correct, make sure you zoom out, because that can kind of give you an idea of whether we're like completely crashing and this is the end of the bull run, or whether this is just a correction. Thanks for watching today's video. I'm out.